Taniel is part of a 400-year-old secret order to keep the pillars hidden, but the military now knows the Neibolt house has a tunnel that will lead them there. It's time to tighten the perimeter and bring an end to the Cold War without any American soldiers getting hurt. Hanlon's angry, though, that Shaw would let his family move to Derry. Meanwhile, in another hospital, Lily visits Marge, who has a bandage over one eye but is still alive. Marge saved Lily by lying and saying her eye was cut by her glasses, and Lily was only trying to help her. Lily doesn't know if the entity will attack again, but if it does, Marge won't be alone. With her friends later at the standpipe, they see a tent set up. Impossibly, the feared dead Maddie peers out, alive and very weak, asking for help. He tells them that the clown left him alive to feed on his fears, and he only got away because it sleeps during the day. Although Maddie saw many dead bodies, the entity also left Phil alive, yet unable to talk or move, implying he's in the same state we saw Bev in the movies. Meanwhile, Chief Bowers takes Hank Grogan out to the bus heading to Shawshank, and the crowd goes wild on him. Someone even rushes up with a gun before getting dropped by security. Charlotte watches everything, including one cop whose smile looks wrong in every way. After Hank gets hauled off, she makes a call to confirm his paperwork went through. Her husband walks in looking for Will and tells her he needs her to hear him and believe him. Later, when Rose shows up looking for her nephew, Shaw tells her Taniel's safe and set for release. He adds that his memories of Derry punched back into place before he returned. 5 years earlier, the DoD hit him with a drug for a security protocol, and the memories flooded him after 45 years. Also, you'd need to be tripping on some serious stuff to think you were taking down Pennywise. He figured he had the answer to keeping the country safe, but Rose tells him the force in that town stays wild. She asks him to let Taniel help, because their survival depends on it. After that, she gives her nephew the dagger-shaped weapon to face the thing. During the meeting that happened before Rose knew what went down with Taniel, Elder Statesman Joe dropped a detail about how one of its behavior patterns hits the town, even when the classic cycles of evil are not active. I don't even want to picture what Pennywise might possibly be shedding, or how it might show itself through the town's water. Still, this gives some context to the scene in Chapter 2, where Bev reacts to the tea in Mrs. Kirsch's place. In the novel, she gets a cup filled with sewer waste. The movie never states that, so the tea being made with its discharge water makes sense. Disturbed by what is going on, Leroy moves his wife and son to the military base for safety. Meanwhile, the next morning, Charlotte hears a radio report saying the Shawshank bus crashed and Hank escaped. If the bus never flipped and Hank Grogan never broke loose, he likely would have crossed paths with the characters from Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank Redemption. Andy Dufresne would not make his big escape until 1975. And where does he crawl out? A sewer pipe. Everything lines up. Later, Lily's housekeeper friend from Juniper Hill, Ingrid, walks out on her horrible husband and gets into a car. Hank sits in the back seat, though there's no danger. She is the same white woman he was with on the night of the movie theater attack. Apparently, she is the same Mrs. Kirsch from Chapter 2. She never played a strong part in the story before this episode, and now the pieces line up for why we never learned much about her. Lily's house call showed that Ingrid is married to Stan Kirsch the butcher, and the name Mrs. Kirsch means far more to Stephen King fans than Ingrid. Not sure where to take Hank for safety, Hank reaches out to someone he trusts. Soon after, Ingrid arrives at the base to meet Charlotte. Meanwhile, Lily brings Marge to the standpipe to join her new friends and help. She refuses to go to the police. They want to save Phil on their own, but they feel scared. Anxiety pills that they can take before heading in. Meanwhile, the military rolls up on Neibolt Street and storms the house. Men with rifles jump out of their trucks with one order: shoot anything that feels irrational. Hanlon, Taniel, and Halloran move with them as they drop into the tunnels below. The place sinks into darkness, and the water rises to their waists. Halloran's fear kicks in fast. He slips under, sinks hard, then pops back up inside a bathtub. His grandmother sits beside him and tells him he is being hunted again. Heavy footsteps echo from the hallway. The bathroom door swings open. His grandfather stands there with a gun tucked in his waistband and says, "It is time." He is tired of his wife and grandson speaking with their minds and pushes Dickie to open the box of fears. Halloran refuses. Grandpa shoots Grandma in the leg. A clown laugh leaks out of him. The box snaps open and a yellow light spills across the room, while Halloran folds up in fear. Meanwhile, things are even worse for two soldiers who get taken out by the skeleton of Uncle Sam. The chaos splits everyone up. Taniel takes off, but he drops his glowing dagger in the water as he escapes. Hanlon and Polly get stopped in their tracks when they hear a woman's voice crying out and running toward them. Charlotte steps into view or something wearing her face. Its mouth stretches open as it lounges towards them. Leroy fires and drops it, then looks down at the empty eyes of something who looks like his wife. Her eyes flip white and she gives a smile before her body slides under the water and swims off. The kids stand outside the sewer opening and start taking the pills, with Maddie stepping up first. Soon after, the drugs slow them and leave them feeling weird, yet they keep moving anyway. Later, they wander off and end up lost. Voices scream from far away, and then their friend's dead body rises from the water while two others show up nearby. Phil and Maddie's corpse floats up, confirming they are dead, as the mysterious boy they hung out with singing and spinning on a pole begins to twist and shift into Pennywise the clown. He goes after the kids while they scream and run, and Lily slips behind, struggling to reach the others. Meanwhile, Hanlon and Polly hear the screaming, and Leroy runs straight into his son, Will. Hanlon thinks he is looking at another trick from the entity and raises his weapon, but Polly steps in front of Will since he sees him too. Polly takes the bullet to the chest. As he fades, he tells his crying friend that everything is okay. His final request is to make it count. He mocks her with a low voice, saying she failed to save Matty Boy. He shifts into her mangled dad, then shifts back into Pennywise again. Lily curls up as Pennywise rushes at her, stopping inches away with his mouth stretched wide, ready to bite down on her tasty flesh. Something freezes him in place. The glowing dagger sits in the water next to Lily, shining bright. Pennywise moonwalks back into darkness, and Lily grabs the dagger. Later at the base, Hanlon gives a speech about what happened and how Polly died. Shaw walks in and offers his sympathy. He says the indigenous residents will answer for what they led them into, though Hanlon only wants to reach his family. Shaw starts to leave when Leroy asks about Halloran. He explains Halloran hasn't returned to base yet, though he believes Dick has the strength to make it. As the episode wraps, Halloran steps out of the sewer tunnel shocked and drained. He hears something in the trees, and another soldier walks ahead of him. When the figure turns, it is Polly with blank white eyes. The final shot shows Halloran's box of fears wide open, ready to release everything inside. During the Native Americans meeting, they discuss something like the last major massacre Pennywise carries out, before going into hibernation for another 27 years. As we all know, he might not be defeated this season, so we haven't really seen what that looks like since he was defeated in the movies. Hopefully we get to see it play out this season. This is easily the best episode so far, though the top spot might shift once more episodes drop in the coming weeks.